Hey Hector, I saw the announcement on your Canvas page about the power supplies. I'm not sure exactly how Nick used to do it, but here's what I would do. To try to get the three power supplies, I would start with the triple power supply, turn it on, and make sure the settings here are for series. And so this left button is in and the right button is out. That way you can have your master and your slave all controlled right here in terms of the voltage. And that way you get a 15 volts for your op amp. And so if I go right here, 15 volts, this setting will also be at 15 volts. And keeping in mind that the black one is the floating ground and the green one is the common ground, if I connect these two together, then I would use this as the common ground for the circuit, not the common ground of the equipment. So stay away from the green connectors. But then that way I could use this connector right here for the 15 volts on the VCC of the op amp. And then this one for the negative power supply on the op amp, okay? And so this would be a negative 15 from this common ground, because remember there's 15 volts between here, and then this would be your common ground, this should be your 15. Anyways, this would be my suggestion for the students, and I saw in your announcement that you wanted to ask the chair if we had another set of power supply. So this would run the op amp, and then I would grab one of these smaller guys here and turn it on to run the input voltage. And that way we should have enough for everybody, because there would be, each group could have the triple power supply and then the single power supply. And then of course to make it a common ground, maybe I'll use black here, take the connection from this power supply and again, to the floating ground here, all right? And then that way, this connection here can be your input. Now, it looks like this one is set at 5 volts, but it looked like in your circuit there, you were having them input about a half a volt. And I don't really like the way this one responds there, but I think that's gonna do it. All right, so this would be the input to the inverting part of the op amp, and then of course, like I said, these would run the power to the op amp, and then this would be your common ground. And so we've got our minus 15, our plus 15, and our plus 5. And in fact, that being said, I didn't see it necessary for your instructions, but you might even want to put in a negative input. And so in that case, I would swap out and place the common ground at the plus. And again, it's a floating circuit. And so that's your common ground. And so now this would be the input, and this would be at a negative 0.56. 7, 8. Ooh, might want to try another one here. But assuming that stables. Anyways, like I said, Nick might give you better options and explain what he was doing, but this was my first reaction is how I would hook it up so that there was enough power supply for all the students and we avoid the common ground connection in the plugs, because the green ones are all part of the common ground system. And some of our equipment, there's a short bar or a bus connecting between the negative and the common ground. And I don't see any of them on here. I think we had them on there, and I think years ago Nick removed them because that just created more of a hassle. All right. Hope that helps in some way.